And when you have that explanation, suddenly who you are and how people show up around you starts to make a whole lot more sense. And so the first piece I would go into is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow, really famous psychologist decades ago, there's this idea that you'll find in some education textbooks. People will talk about there's a hierarchy of what you need in order to be well, be fulfilled. And it has an order to things, where at the bottom are things like food and water, and then as you move up, it becomes things like shelter and financial security, job satisfaction, and then at the top is self-actualization. And in the middle is love and belonging. There's a great book by Scott Barry Kaufman where he actually read his personal journals. He found Abraham Maslow never created a hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy is wrong. Instead of it being a representation of how we're actually wired, it is a representation of the myths within our culture. I've talked to thousands of people who make it into their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s who tell me the same story basically, which is, I built the big, bright, shiny life and it feels hollow on the inside, or I feel lost, or I feel overwhelmed. And underneath there, what you'll find is that they played by this game. And the game that they played by was the map that is rooted in the same ideas that created that Maslow's hierarchy, which is my job is to go out and get good grades and then prove myself and follow the rules and get enough money, and then I can allow myself to think about love and belonging. And yet when you really look at humans and how we're wired, our deepest need is love and belonging. It's our base code. In tribes, hunter-gatherer nomads relying on one another. Otherwise, we would not have been able to survive, let alone multiply and come to dominate the planet. We're not the biggest, fastest, strongest. It's our ability to utilize language to collaborate. And so that's why when you take a baby and you put them down and you walk away, they're going to cry no matter what big dangers are nearby, because that child's nervous system yearns for connection.